I was afraid that I didn't know what to do. I was afraid that people wouldn't be interested in what I had to say. Done is better than perfect. I gave myself permission to step out. If you've got something on your heart, on your spirit, on your mind, do the thing. Don't wait, just start. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Michelle's Seat at the Table, a podcast about leadership, community, and the conversations that shape us. As we know, it's not always about the destination, but the journey and the lessons we learn along the way. So today I'm back with another solo episode. I'm doing something a little bit different. I was inspired by a picture that I took because of this mug. And so for those that are listening and not watching on YouTube, I have a mug that says Michelle's Coffee Chat. And so today, this podcast episode, no guests, no script, just some thoughts and my mug and having a coffee chat. So this mug was actually a gift to me by one of my daughters for Christmas. And it was inspired because I would have these coffee chats with my team. And those team members we would have one-on-ones. I would do national calls with the team. But I found it as a way to connect with people, one, to build trust so people can get to know me. I talked about not just my direction as a leader, but my family and my goals, where I wanted us to be together. But it takes me back to conversations, right? It's about the connections. It was never about the coffee or the tea or the wine, who knows? But it was about the connections. And I've had so many of those conversations in my personal and professional life. The coffee chat with my girlfriends, the coffee chat with my family members. And so I want to come to you with just a few things today. I woke up with such a heart filled with gratitude. And maybe it's about something that I'm going through. We're about to be empty nesters. My youngest daughter is on her way to college. And so life is going to be different in the next few weeks. But having both of my daughters home, having dinner together, just gave me so much perspective on life and how much they've accomplished, how much we've accomplished. But when I think about how I set out to do this podcast, and I'll take a sip from my cup. I set out to do this podcast in January of 2026, and it was encouraged by my husband and others, but to share my stories, to share my journey. I have had a career, as many of you know, but some don't. I have been in the life sciences, the healthcare industry for going on closer to 30 years than 25 years. And when I got in this business, I was so young. There was so much I didn't know, so much I was learning. I didn't have a blueprint. I didn't have an example of what to do. And I learned from so many fantastic mentors around me. But when I think about not all that, not just what I've accomplished, but what my family and the people around me, I'm so grateful. And I started and I was afraid, quite honestly. I was afraid that I didn't know what to do. I was afraid that people wouldn't be interested in what I had to say. And one of the points that I wanted to share is done is better than perfect. And I've been learning that along the way. So when I set out to start this podcast, I thought, I've got to learn all of the things. I've got to get fancy equipment. I've got to, find people to join me on my podcast, learn how to edit, learn how to make reels. But what I realized is that for me, and probably for many of you, done is better than perfect. And I constantly have to remind myself that it's about my message. It's about my voice. It's about leveraging my network and the people that I know in that network to bring really great information. But it's about the honest conversations. It's not about having it all right. I get wrapped up in my own head. There's perfectionism. right? I want everything to be together. And I just have come to the point where I realize I don't have to know everything. I don't have to do everything. And so I put a post out and I said, coming soon. And that for me was part of my accountability. I said I was going to do it and I did it. I'm so thankful for all of the people who have followed this podcast, the people who have given me encouragement, have given me advice, the people who called me. Oh, it has been amazing. And there's so much more that I want to do, so much more that I'm going to do with Michelle's seat at the table. But I wanted to share with those that are listening that done is better than perfect. And you don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to have it all put together. Just start. Start small. Start with a post. Start with a conversation. Start with asking someone for a cup of coffee. It's small things depending upon what your business is, what your dreams are. And I thought, oh, is it really that time for me to do something different and creative? And I'm having so much fun. I'm loving it. So done is better than perfect is the first part. I gave myself permission to step out. And I want to encourage, if you've got something on your heart, on your spirit, on your mind, do the thing. Don't wait. Waiting isn't going to make it better. Trying to take another class or watch another video, just start. You'll get better. Listen, I went back and watched some of my first podcast episodes. I'm better now than I was then, but I know when I look back on this episode and another 10 episodes in the future, I'll think I'm better now than I was then as well. My next thing, as I said, I woke up with so much gratitude and gratitude for all that I have been able to do, but for the support. And just when I woke up a few days ago after my last podcast episode, and I was thinking, is that something that people are going to be interested in? I always think that. What are people going to be interested in? What are they going to appreciate? What are they going to value? And so if this podcast has ever touched you, inspired you, please let me know. If you have my phone number, call me, text me, put a comment in the chat, whether this is Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. Please follow, subscribe, and like. That helps with what I'm doing and what the future of this podcast looks like. There's so many wonderful things that are coming, so I can't wait to share them all with you. But the gratitude is real. And just when I was doubting some of the value, I had three people actually listen to my podcast and call me. Two people said, I love what you're doing. I want to hire you and bring you to my organization, because one of the things that I talked about on my last podcast was a framework that I had been building. And this framework is called OWN, OWN. And I'm building this platform and around owning your seat at the table. And that's what my advice has been. That's what I'm working on, putting real meat on the bones for this framework. And so I'll share, for those of you who didn't listen to the last episode, the OWN framework. The O stands for own your narrative. The W stands for win your visibility. And the N stands for navigate your network. And so I won't go through all of the details. Go back to the last episode and take a listen, but stay tuned because there's so much more that's coming around the OWN framework. And what I want you to know is take a chance, use your voice, don't wait, do it. Own your seat at the table. The seat has always been yours. It's now time to own it. And so come on this journey with me. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you've been holding on to, what you've been dreaming about, the things that you want to do. Let's have a mastermind. Let's talk about it together. Continue to build this community of great people around us to go do it. Life is short. I've realized that the older I get, I'm over 50, so I can say that, is that life is short, and it's too short to spend your time doing things that don't make you happy, things that don't fill your cup, and give your soul some inspiration. So those are just a few things I wanted to say today. This is the shorter episode, as I talk about my coffee chat, what it has meant to me in the past. I'll probably do some of these bonus episodes. I want to invite you to participate. I want to invite you to share a question, ask a question. If there's a topic that you're interested in that you'd like me to cover or cover with a guest, let me know, because I'm really open to it. I'd like to do a few more coffee chats. Who knows? Do you guys think it would be good to do a live coffee chat? You could call it a wine chat too, depending upon when we do it. But I would love to hear if that's something that you'd be interested in me doing and bringing you along. But thank you for this community. Thank you for pulling up your chair. And thank you for those of you who have been inspired by this podcast, shared it with other people, those who are sponsoring and mentoring other people, pulling out the chair for someone else. It's our responsibility as we grow and as we rise to be that example, to be that voice for others. And so I want to say cheers and thank you for the journey. We're not done. We still have several episodes left in this season, and I'm already starting to think about season 3, and it's going to be a little bit different. So I can't wait for you to hear and see what I will be serving at the table. Until next time, remember, if this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend, share it with a colleague. If you'd like me to talk to your community group, your team, your organization about owning your seat at the table and how I can help to foster greater leadership and community, please do send me a comment, send me a note, let me know. But until next time, remember that the most important conversations don't always happen in the boardroom. They happen right here at the table. Cheers.
Thank you for listening. And if this podcast episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend. Invite them to the table. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast.